Welcome again to the Onboard Week studio. We will broadcast interesting insights from our speakers, inspirational talks and discussions every day at 10 a.m. Central European Time. This week from Monday to Friday. My name is Referral van Hoof and I am the moderator of the Onboard Week 2020. Now, the Onboard Week is an initiative of Epical, the company that provides a digital onboarding solution. And our goal with this event is to share knowledge on onboarding and to help you to create the most memorable onboarding experience. In the networking sessions at the end of each day, apart from meeting the speakers, you will also learn a little bit more about Epical's product, or you can just plan in a personal meeting with our onboarding experts. And you can do that through the link in the chat. Now, this program has been made possible by our partners Yes We Connect, Great Place to Work, HR Office, Validator, Smart Recruiters, and Visma. Now, on today, our speakers will explore how your organization can give your new hires a personal onboarding experience. We will hear about personalizing the onboarding journey and empower the employees, and learn about taking a humanistic approach on your onboarding. So, I want to welcome our speakers here at the table. Brian Perenboom from Wortell and Sanne van Leeuwen from Humanitas DMH. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Now, I would like to start with the introductions now. And I'll start with you, Brian. Now, you brought a lot of decks of cards from Wortell with questions on it to get to know each other a little bit. So let's use it to learn more about you guests. I would say, now, you can pick out a card. But first, before you pick out one, when do you use these cards? On the first day or another moment?
Yeah, we used them on the first day. When people started Wortell,
Yeah.
they get a week on onboarding.
Yeah.
And the first day is all about getting to know the other starters.
Yeah.
So yeah, we use that to break the ice a little bit. And yeah, this is a question deck you could use in order to get to know the people a little bit better.
Yeah. Nice. Now pick one out for you. Oh, it's like a game. We're going to play a game. I like games.
So, Sanne, is there something that you collect?
Yes, I collect Nike Air Ones, and I collect vintage furniture and icons of Maria and Jesus.
All right. And do you have any favorite pairs on your Nike Ones?
Mercury's.
All right.
We know we love them.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Oh, I also get a question, or what?
Yeah, you get a question, but it's the same one. So I want a different one. What for would you give? Would you throw a party for?
Sorry?
What would you throw a party for?
What would I throw a party? If the corona's finished, I'm going to give a huge party, invite everybody I know that I love, and then have the most amazing party there ever is. That's clear, no?
Yeah, I think
now
so.
Another one for you.
Okay.
Oh, I cannot get it, my arms are too short. Let's see. Let's see what I have for you. For what do people ask you for advice or help?
Well, my colleagues ask me for advice on lease cars.
For lease cars?
Yeah, I'm a real petrol head.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people have questions about their own the compensation they have to pay in order to use the car privately. So they ask me for advice on stuff like that, but also, of course, recruitment.
Yeah. But in private life?
In private life, yeah. Yeah, I've been a real nut for self-defense sports. So I've been practicing judo for quite a while, and I do MMA. So people always ask me, can you show me some cool tricks on how to defend myself?
Yeah. What is MMA?
It's mixed martial arts.
Oh, okay. Oh, good to know. So if I need a bodyguard, I can ask. Okay, and then of course we also want to know a little bit more about your professional life. What is your role within Wortell, and how long have you been working there?
So my role within Wortell is I'm a recruitment director. I've been working at Wortell for somewhere around 5 years now. So yeah.
Okay. Now, Wortell won the Onboard Award 2019. How was it to win the Onboard Award last year?
Yeah, it was quite something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really didn't expect to win it.
Yeah.
Because there were quite a few big names in the race to win the award as well.
Yeah.
Also companies we secretly look at every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. It helped us really much, and it is also an acknowledgement on all the hard work we put into creating a personal onboarding.
Yeah, it's like the cherry on the cake.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think a lot of people tuned in today as well to learn again from you guys this year, and they want to know about how Wortell is doing. So that brings me actually to the third question. What can we expect from your talk today?
So I really want to give everybody some insights on how we approach a personal onboarding and show them some of the results that, let's say, the value of a personal onboarding in that specific case, and show them some insights on the challenges we faced, the learnings we had, and show them why personal onboarding could be a huge benefit for your organization.
Yeah, now we're all looking really forward to it. Let's ask you a question. What is your role within Humanitas DMH?
I'm an HR advisor, and I'm specialized in onboarding, recruitment, and labor market communication.
Okay, and I understand that you combine a recruitment role with onboarding. Do you see that as a logical combination?
Yeah, because I think your onboarding starts when you recruit people. So if you don't think what you what the plan is for your onboarding, your recruitment, if it doesn't fit your onboarding, you will lose people when you recruit them and the onboarding doesn't fit. So.
And what have you prepared for us today?
I prepared a small talk about our organization, who we are, what we do and why we do what we do. And I will tell you a bit more about personal onboarding we have and how we try to cooperate our humanistic values within the onboarding.
Okay. Now, the last thing we want to introduce to you is the Onboard Awards, an important part of the Onboard Week as well. We already have given out an onboarding award to celebrate other companies' efforts and progress in their onboarding. So let's go to Victor Romein, our chosen spokesman of the jury, to hear who the nominees are for today's awards. So, Victor!
Thank you so much, Cyril. My name is Victor, and I'm a Customer Success Manager at Referral. Today, I will be announcing the nominees for the Onboard Award for Small and Medium-Sized Companies. The nominees are Arrange Group, Fuga, Good Habits, MessageBird, the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, and Popvriend Seeds. Who will win this award? We'll see that later today, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Victor. So let's get back to the table and get the program started so you can win the Onboard Awards next year. So, the topic of today is personal onboarding, and in preparing the topic we found out that there are two angles to personal onboarding. The first, how to make your onboarding program fit to the needs and wants of your new hires. Can you tailor-make onboarding? And the second is about getting to know each other, and that is a two-way street. The new hires need to know the organizations to join, and the people in the organizations need to know who the new hire is in work and life. So now we are looking for some feedback from you at home, so please fill out this poll, and we will include the results in the final discussion here at the table. Now back to you guys. Brian, What do you think is the importance of making onboarding personal?
Well, the importance of making onboarding personal is that, especially nowadays, people want to have a sense of belonging with the company, to make them feel at home, and be part of something bigger. If you look at our company, we are our main sectors are education and healthcare. Yeah, and we really want to make a difference. We want to help organizations, making them future-proof by the help of Microsoft technologies. Yeah, and it's great that I can contribute on the feeling people get when joining Wortell.
Okay. And Sanne, in general, should you have a personal approach in HR?
Yes, you should, but is it only up to HR to make a personal approach? Our organization is decentralized, and so my influence is really small. I'm there to advise, and I'm there to make a strategy and plans. So the personal approach belongs to the teams within our organization. So I can teach them how to do it, but I have to rely the teams are doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just an HR thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't matter how your organization is shaped if not all your employees know what's important about the personal approach. You won't even get to there anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And what can happen to your company if your onboarding is not personalized, Brian?
Well, I think if you look at what could happen is that if people don't know their way within your organization or don't know the way of working of your specific organization, they could possibly leave within the first year. And if you look at the costs it will bring, yeah, those are tremendous. So yeah, if you make it personal and people stay for a long while, that would be a great benefit for both the candidate and your organization.
Yeah. So it's already time for the presentations, and you will take off. So please enlighten us about how you empower your new hires at Wortell through a personal onboarding. So please take the presenter stage and prepare.
Thank you.
And we would like to invite you sitting at home to ask any questions you have while watching the presentation. And please fill in the Q&A part of the chat. Stay tuned till the end of the sessions where the questions will be answered by our speakers. And you can win a nice deck of cards from Wortell. So the first 3 questions that people can vote on the questions you're asking. And if you're one of the 3 first ones that ask a very interesting question, you win this. So that's nice. Yeah, it's nice presents. Okay, good luck. Good luck, Brian.
All right, well, welcome everyone. Very excited to be here. Today my presentation will be about the value of personal onboarding. I'm hoping to give you some great insights on how we do onboarding. And from there on, give you an understanding of how we do things. First off, we as a company are reliant on people. We are reliant on our new employees, and we have a lot of competitors who are also keen on getting the best talent out there. And we made a ground rule that work is commodity, but people are not. And the reason why we say this is that with our competitors, they could do almost exactly the same job. So in order to stand out, you need to do things differently. And today will be about doing things differently and giving you some insights on how Wortell does those things. So a quick view on our agenda and the value of personal onboarding. So first off, give you a quick introduction on our company, some insights on the challenges we faced with implementing a personal onboarding, some solutions we created, learnings we had, and the next steps, because onboarding is always evolving, your company is always evolving, and we are very much keen on still creating the best content, the best onboarding, most personal onboarding for our new employees. So a quick introduction on Wortell, and I previously discussed this as well, is that Wortell is a company who uses Microsoft technologies in order to make companies future-proof. Think of smart solutions, helping them with a modern workplace, and bringing them to the cloud. So why personal onboarding? Well, our slogan is, we empower people. And the way we do that is that our people are making organizations future-proof. And we do that by giving our new employees a sense of belonging, because the people are the key to our success, and the way we do that is that we are using self-organizing teams. So we don't have any middle management for our people. We are reliant on the fact that we think that everybody should be capable and be responsible for their own actions, be responsible for their own work. And we do this in a very personal way. So we are getting bigger by staying small in some sense. So why personal onboarding? And I want to give you a quick insight on the benefits you could have on a personal onboarding. And the thing is that we don't just win their hearts and minds, we go way further. But if you zoom in on the real benefits, it's everybody is always busy with getting people up and running in no time. And we notice that with a personal onboarding, people are quicker with being up and running and knowing their way within the organization. So over the past few years, we had a 40% less departure rate. Year to date, we have a 98% acceptance rate, which means that every candidate we do an offer, 98% of all those candidates signed an offer from Wortell. And we are scoring at this moment a 9 out of 10 on our candidate experience. So a few insights on the challenges we faced, and I want to pick out 3 of them. If you look at the first one, it's finding people versus making revenue. People are key to our success because we do projects, and one of the things we noticed is that in the first few months, people were looking like, okay, where do I go with questions regarding HR, or regarding my salary, or regarding my planning, or I have questions for pre-act control, I have questions to my coach, I don't have a buddy. So that was one of the things we looked at, but also closing the gap. And I think closing the gap is one of the key things we do really well. Because from the moment people sign, they have a notice period, which could be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depends on how long they have been working somewhere. And what we would really like to achieve is that from the moment they sign, it's usually quiet. You know, it's a 4 weeks and it's quiet from the company they signed to. And we want to create that sense of belonging from the moment they step through our doors when they start their application until the first day they start. So that's where Apical comes in, because Apical is a great tool to help us with creating content and dispersing that content to our new employees who just signed. And we do that by making it personal. So we have 4 tastes of onboarding. I will get to that back later. But in order to create that, we had to create the perfect fit. And that means you need to get the right format for each starter. And we want to do that by making them feel in place or making them feel at home at Wortell. So we came up with a few solutions. And one of the things is that we wanted to create a personal experience. We do that by creating something within pre-boarding. We have 4 tastes, 4 tastes of onboarding, and we created a buddy/mentor system. But if you look at our 4 tastes of onboarding, it means that we have 4 different departments, which is product development, managed services, delivery, and overhead. And once they start, we have our Wortell Wasstraat. And it's 1 week, their first week. We start with getting to know each other. But the first week is solely focusing on onboarding within the company. So you get to meet all of the teams. So think about HR, finance, project control, planning, meeting the coaches, meeting the teams, just finding your way within the organization, who is who and what is what. And I really think that, yeah, one of the things that we do really well is the fact that we give our new people time to, let's say, drink coffee with every single person within the team. And once they were starting, we want to know how it's been for them. So one of the things we do in their first month is that we do 2 evaluations, and we don't do evaluations on how our new employees are doing, but we are doing 2 evaluations on how are we doing. Because it's their first month and they really want to get to know Wortell. Is this the place I want to stay? Is this the place I want to work? So yeah, 2 evaluations on how we're doing, but also a questionnaire on how did you experience your application process? Was everything in order? Was everything crystal clear? Did you know where to go? Did you know which people to contact? And one of the things that is really great about Abaco is that you can get user reports out of your app, and you can see how engaged your new starters are with your brand and with the process, of course. So based on those things, we had a few learnings. But first, let's zoom in on some of the results from before we started with a personal onboarding versus how things are right now. And one of the biggest things is that we had a one-size-fits-all onboarding. People would come in, they would shake some hands. This is Brian, and so on. And now we have a very personalized pre and onboarding. And our onboarding starts at the moment we do an offer. And the reason why our onboarding starts at the offer is because that is the most exciting time within, usually within the process, because people are deciding whether or not they should join, and our salary and benefits and everything that comes with it, is it what we expect? And we have an onboarding specialist who takes the candidate by their hand and guides them through every step of the way. So before we were scoring somewhere around a 7 on our candidate experience, which is now a 9. We had an 80% acceptance rate, which is now 98. We had a departure rate of 24%, which is now 10. And I want to give you some insights on what do Wortellers say about our onboarding program. And the first one you see is Jean-Paul. He's a project manager at Wortell, and he joined us at the moment we went into the first lockdown with Corona. So he started on the 1st of April, and we went by all of our starters. We had 6 in total, and we went to their houses, of course Corona-proof, but we went to their houses in order to name them welcome with Wortell. Now we have Dion. Dion is a part of our HR team. And yeah, she was really keen on joining us, and her entire application process went very quickly. I thought she signed within a week. So yeah, the onboarding gave her a clear view of our organization and her position within our organization. So, and the last but not least, and he's one of my favorites, this is Sander Derks. We hired Sander for 2 years as a contractor. And after 2 years, he said, yeah, I really, really want to join Wortell. Just looking at the DNA and the way we do things. So, some next steps. And one of the things I'd really like to discuss is keeping your onboarding up to date. It's not something you just do one time and then you think, yeah, it's all going to be great. It's something you need to tweak every single month. And the way we do it is of course, we have our questionnaires, but we are also thinking to ourselves, is the content that we share, is it still relevant? You know, is the content that we create, is it suitable for the teams we have? So we check in with every single team we have, and those are 20 teams. And those teams have team captains, so it's not like I speak 300 people within Wortell, but we do check in and check in on whether or not the content we have is relevant, is it still valuable content? So after those things and during COVID, we thought, okay, we can't do the personal onboarding in our office anymore, so how do we create an onboarding from a distance? And one of the things that we started doing is, when you started Wortell, you receive a really big goodie bag with all sorts of stuff in it. With chocolate, you get a ticket for watching a movie at home from Pathé Thuis. There's a sports bag, but also you get delivered a huge box, and if you open it, there pops up a balloon which says, welcome to Wortell. Your laptop is in there. We put a handwritten note on welcoming you, and some quick starters on how to deal with your first day, and from there on, we check in with them, and we try to make every starter feel welcome and feel them right at home at Wortell. And one of the things that we also do is we created a new team within Wortell. It's a virtual team, it's not a real existing team, but we created Team Icebreakers. And Team Icebreakers is responsible for breaking the ice. And the way we do that is that they can, we give people the opportunity to meet somebody from the organization randomly and have a cup of coffee with them, even though it's remote. It gives them new insights on our organization. So, making the personal experience is something that is ever ongoing, even within our company. And one of the things we are working on right now is creating a onboarding program per team. We have 20 different teams within Wortell. So that means creating a lot of specific content for that specific team. And of course, we can't do that alone because, we have to source more people. We are still growing. And we are doing this by putting the team itself in the lead of the onboarding. And what it does, you get a really great interaction on their point of view on onboarding, because they are the ones who are already working with the specific technology. So we hire people they are already working within that specific team. So they know the exact culture of that team, and in order to share that with our new employees, yeah, it's a great way to interact with your company. So where could you start yourself? And what I always say is start with a roadmap. Start with your dot on the horizon and think, okay, what's going to be my legacy at my specific company? And once you have that, set goals and make them small, make them achievable. And in order to do so, you need to acquire some ambassadors around you. And I'm not talking about the regular people you are usually hanging out with at the coffee machine or whatever. No, I'm talking about people who are maybe just outside your usual zone of friendship or your good colleague, but ask people on how they are looking at onboarding and on how they could benefit from a personal onboarding, and from there on you could start convincing the board that a personal onboarding could be of great value to your organization. Thank you.
Applause for you, Brian. Well done. That was really, really interesting. Come,
Thank
please
you.
sit down. Now, I have a first follow-up question for your presentation already. How do you ensure that all your self-steering teams guarantee the same quality in onboarding for new hires?
Yeah, so great question, of course. The way we do that is that we are still in the lead of the onboarding program. So, yeah, we have an onboarding specialist within our team, which is solely focusing on the onboarding of new employees. And yeah, when you stay in the lead of your personal onboarding, you can still guarantee the right quality and the right content within your onboarding.
And Sanne, was there some personal onboarding element that you have yet to implement at Humanitas DMH?
I would love to have a week for onboarding.
Really? Yeah.
That would be very nice. But I was wondering, how are you doing your onboarding, this week onboarding, now it's remote?
So yeah, well, of course we are an organization which is IT-based. And we use a lot of Microsoft technology, and Microsoft Teams is a great tool to support that. So yeah, it's we have one room within our office which could be used in order to let people start the first day. But during lockdowns, yeah, we do them remote, so everybody is at home. We give them room and space in order to create a workplace from home, so you get a budget right away to create a home office with an extra screen and a keyboard and a mouse, of course, and just to make sure that people can set up their right home office. And yeah, everybody is in a Teams call, and there's also one person who leads, of course, and they are responsible for making people getting to know each other.
And what advice would you give to Sanne to convince the board to do this? Your board is watching, no or not?
Yeah.
Good.
I guess.
Yeah, well, I think it's depending on what your organization really wants, but if you look at, you're in healthcare, if you look at the tremendous pressure you guys are on, yeah, I really do think that people, especially within healthcare, can really make a difference. And if you want to make a difference, you need to give people the empowerment to do so. And if you want to if you want to make employees stay longer at your company. Give them some insights on how you're doing things. Give them some time to get used to the company. What is your way of working? But yeah, you wouldn't be sitting at this table if you weren't very keen on that. So, yeah.
Yeah, would be nice.
Yeah. Now, Sanne, it's time for your presentation. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Yeah? Sanne will give you another perspective on a personal onboarding experience. We're really looking forward to it. So please take the presenter stage and prepare. And for you at home, don't hesitate to ask any questions you have and ask them in the chat. Our speakers will answer them at the end of this session. Good luck, Nootje.
Thanks. Hello. For those who just tuned in, I'm Sanne van Leeuwen. I'm a HR advisor at Humanitas DMH, which I will now call HDMH because it's a bit shorter. I don't think a lot of you will know who we are and what we do. So I will give you a quick review. We are a healthcare organization and we are there for people with a learning disability. We're spread out all over the country except in Limburg. We have around 1,300 employees and around 3,000 clients. We have 52 locations and 70% of our clients are getting patient care, outpatient care, so they live on their own and we help them out for about 2 or 3 hours a week or more. And 20% is living with us in our homestays. We are a humanistic organization. That means that we have humanistic values, and those values are really based on equality. And we give our employees a lot of freedom. We don't have any real set up boundaries. We have some guiding principles, which I will tell you a bit later. And one of the main things is that we believe in a society with inclusion. And that's not a common thing, unfortunately. So we hope that we can contribute to this society to include everybody. We do that not from a system world, but we believe in the world of experience from our clients. So, that said, let's start. My trigger, 1/3 of our new employees is recruited by ambassadors. In healthcare, that's a lot. We hire around 300 new employees every year, so about 100 will come by our own colleagues. In this talk, I will tell you a bit more how we achieve that 1/3. But first, I wanted to let you show a video of who we are, and I will tell you more about it later. So, if you saw this video, I don't think everybody can see who is who. Can you see who is our employee, who is our client, or who is a relative of our clients? And with this video, we wanted to show you that that is the big struggle our clients have to deal with every day. People with a learning disability don't show their disabilities by their face. And therefore, there are often over-questioned or over-asked. And they have to prove themselves every time in the society. They don't fit in this society quite normally, but they look normal. So that's a real struggle for our clients. And that means that we as care professionals have to help them to find their way in this society. Yeah. Oh my God, this is the old one. Okay. Yeah, I have to improvise because I had a new PowerPoint and this is the old PowerPoint. So this is something about our vision. We have a vision, our mission, and our mission is that Bram feels happy and matters. And Bram is just a random name. It could be anybody. And with this mission, we hope that everybody, so the relatives, the clients, and our employees feel connected to our organization. Something about our core values. Our core values are based on humanistic values. There are 7 humanistic values, and we choose the 3 ones which fits our organization the best. One of it is self-direction, and self-direction means we work together on development and implementation of your own way of working. Responsibility means you take responsibility for yourself, but also for others. And equivalence means we feel equal and we connect with other people. These humanistic values we try to spread out through the whole organization within onboarding, how we work, how we cooperate with our clients. So we don't want you to feel better than anybody. You're not the one who knows better than the clients, but you also look, how can I help a client within their abilities? And therefore, we have some guiding principles. We don't set any boundaries. We give our employees a lot of freedom, which is also a downside sometimes for our organization, because if you don't fit in it and you're not used to your self-direction and only having guiding principles, people will get lost. And from the guiding principles, there are from the humanistic values again, we say, do something less. Don't be working from your professional perspective every day, but more like working together. How can we achieve something by working together? And for example, we say, don't use professional language, but use the street language or the language our clients speak. Don't focus on what's not going well, but focus on increasing what's going well. And definitely don't do, we think that you need this, but do, how can you contribute to getting and feel better and happy? So, before I start telling about our challenges, we have some challenges within the industry. Our playing field is the care industry, and I think that everybody knows care industry is having a bit of difficulty by finding people to work for. We have a really tight labor market. That means that there are not a lot of people who are capable of doing the work by having the good studies. So we have to be really creative and think, okay, how can we find people with the soft skills that fits within our organization? And within the healthcare, I think a lot of people see each other still as competitors. I work for about 12 years in healthcare now. And in those 12 years, I really try to make a bond with other organizations. Say, okay, we can't do it all by ourselves. We're not competitors. We are standing for our clients, and it doesn't matter if you will help out this client or I will help out this client, as long as the clients get the help they need. So work together. And as long as we don't work together, and I know there are a lot of organization trying to make sure we are working together better, we can't give the clients the help they need, and some clients get lost because they don't get the help. Saying that, for the care industry, we have some own challenges, and one of the first challenges is decentralization. We are having self-organized teams. We have a central office in Nieuwegein. It's nearby Utrecht. They are working about approximately 60 people. Our HR team, for example, has 7 people in it. And we're there to advise the teams, but the teams have to do most things themselves. So we say we believe in the strength of our teams. We believe that they know what's best for their clients, for their team. They know the region where they're working. They know their township best, and they know where to find the people best. So we don't have any recruiters. And especially in healthcare, we are really an exception in that. We have AVAS, which we work with. And from AVAS, the team managers and the teams are responsible for the applications they get and for the application interviews. So they have to do a lot themselves, and we're there to advise them and help them. And if they want a campaign, of course, we will help them. But the whole recruitment and onboarding is a responsibility of the team itself. Another challenge I have to face, now I don't face it every day because most of the times I think, okay, I've got to spend money, but I don't know how much it is. But as long as I can tell them what it's for, it will go. But my budget is really limited. And I think for most of you who are watching, and I spoke with Brian about his budget, and I was telling him, okay, I've got 70,000 euros to spend each year. And if you take in consideration that half of my money is going to Indeed for advertisement of our job offers, then I spend quite a big amount of that money on Apical, which is worth every penny of it. But there's not a lot more to spend on doing fun things. So we really have to think wisely, what do we do with our money? And we have to be creative. And I don't think I can do great things, but I can watch at organizations which are standing here and like, oh my God, I want to do that as well, but I don't have the money. So how can I achieve something great within a small budget? So we make our own vlogs. I go to a location, or a location is making their own vlogs. I have a student. She can edit the videos for a small amount of money. And the vlogs are really making a difference when we have a job offer, because it tells a story from a location with clients, what they do and how they do it. Every year we have a photo shoot. Everybody who wants to join it can join it, and we have some kind of exchange for that. So if you want to have your photo, you have to write your own story about what you like about our company, what you like about your work, how you interact with our clients. And I asked them to write it in 300 words, and we can use those blocks on our recruitment site, on our corporate site, and within the job offers. And of course, we have an ambassador pool. And if you have an organization that's really big and spread out all over the whole country, you need some ambassadors in every region. So we made an ambassador pool, and we have about 20 of them. And we train them for a day. So how can you tell in an elevator pitch who we are, what we do, how can you make the difference? And we ask them to join us if we go to schools, to give some lessons about healthcare and about our organization. Sometimes a client will join them. We use them on job events spread over the whole country. And those ambassadors are there to help other employees to tell their story and how we can use their knowledge and their passion about the work to find our new employees. Can I just click? Okay, where to start? I work with HCMA for about 3 years now, and when I came there, I just applied, so I knew how the recruitment side was looking. I knew how my application went. I had to fill in about 20 fields, and I thought like, oh, this is in my letter, and this is in my CV, so why do I have to put it in your system again? You can read it. And then I got a standard email back, and I was like, is that the candidate journey we want to offer our new candidates? On my first day, when I started, I had a meeting, and the meeting was about the new recruitment site. So I joined it, and I listened for about 2 hours, which is really hard for me. I didn't say a word. And after that, I went to my manager, and I said, okay, Monique, can you tell me what you think my role will be in this process? And said, yeah, that's why I hired you. You're the one who's the professional, you know what you want for a recruitment side. So, okay, I said, okay. Yeah, then we will stop this process and we start from scratch on. Because I had a vision what I wanted. I wanted to do a personal approach for the candidates. From the moment they visit our recruitment site, it should be personal and it should be the story our employees have to tell. And not what I have to tell, but what the people who are doing the actual work for our clients have to tell. So we started with a new recruitment site. You only have to fill in 4 fields. And the rest we can read in your CV. We have that in AVAS outside. And we made some cards, which you can see on the slide, which are personalized with photos. And I didn't want people to say, oh, yeah, can you come to our application interview? Because I don't think that's the way it works. I think that's way past. You are going to meet somebody, you're going to have a cup of coffee, and you're going to be interested in who the person is sitting in front of you, and you want that person to be interested in who we are as an organization, but also who you are as our employee. So I think in the meeting ups for the interviews, it's also starting a bit like onboarding, and with our values from we like each other and we have to work together, and how can we do best? So after, now I can't say after I finished the recruitment part because it's a still ongoing process, but I think it's standing quite nice now. We had an introduction meeting and I joined it about a month before I worked there. And it was a whole day at our central office. The CEO was there, he was telling his personal story, and we did some games, and I think there were about 40 people coming over. Imagine somebody had to drive 2 hours to get there. And it was nice, and I thought, okay, that's nice, I like it. I meet a lot of new colleagues, which I probably won't see that much anymore, but I know who's working here. So for me, it was a lot of information. And we shaped it a bit, and we did it every month. And we made this group smaller, so only 20 people came over, so you can really interact with each other. And then Corona came, and then we had to change it. I spoke a lot with Frank from Yes We Connect, from, hey, how can we shape our remote introduction meeting? And from there on, we started, and we had 4 now, 12 people max, because I like to have a small group, so you can really interact despite it's remote. And in this meeting, our CEO is there, and he will tell his own story. And the first time I heard his story, I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, oh my God, this is really, really nice, and it's really, how do you say it? It was really touching how open he was, and I think that's something we like within our organization. You can be whoever you want to be, you can tell your own story, and we always have space for you. So Frank, our CEO, tells his story. He tells a story from his childhood and why he chose to go to healthcare education and how he became a CEO. And that story makes a lot of impact on our new employees. And afterwards, we go in small groups of 6 persons and we invite our new employees to tell their own story. Why are you coming to work with us? Why did you choose for healthcare? And what do you expect from us? But in introduction meeting, you also want to give somebody some information. And I was like, okay, they have Apical already. I'll tell you about later on. But you also want to tell something about your core values or where they can find e-learnings. So we came up with a game and we played bingo. I'm really a bingo fan. So for me, it was really logical. But we don't use the numbers when we play bingo. We use, every number stands for a word. So if I pull out the ball and I see number 1, I know it means alphabet experience. And then I will tell something about that. And so we have 51 words. And we play bingo, and if you have bingo, you have a whistle, and you have a party hat, and you put that on, and you blow on your whistle, and then you get a prize. And we play 3 bingos, and it's a lot of fun, but we also are able to give a lot of information. And the evaluation says that we have to keep in the bingo. So even when we are going back to face-to-face meeting, which is quite nice because care people really love to be with each other, we will still play the bingo. So after the introduction meeting, I said, okay, that's really, really nice, but now we have to start doing a good onboarding. Because with only an introduction meeting, you don't have good onboarding. So we implemented Epical, and yeah, I really miscalculated it. It's so nice, and you can put a lot of information in it, and as Brian said, they have different ones for every team or every section. I wanted that as well, but within an organization as big as we are, it's really hard to make it that personal that only people from a certain team can get that information. So we made it a bit more general, but we try to keep the personal touch within, because a lot of our employees are telling their stories, and we had some games in it. We try to make it as interactive as possible, but it's really hard if you don't have anybody who is having the time to check Epical every day. So they can't respond throughout Epical because we just don't have anybody who is capable of doing that and keeping that up. The game you play in advance when you want to implement Epical is really nice, because then you get your candidate journey and you're thinking, oh, when do I want to tell that? And is that a good time for telling it? And then you have to write the content. And I think it was about 4 to 6 weeks. They say, yeah, 4 to 6 weeks, and then you're ready and you can start. And it was 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, I'm all by myself. I have to do my normal work, and we didn't have any content on the shelves. We had some content on our corporate site, but it was not fit for the app. So if you start with it, make sure you have enough content, or make sure you have enough people who can write the content. And make choices. Start small, and you can always add more. Now, due to Corona, we have a special chapter for Corona where our CEO puts videos in, or where we tell something about the arrangements we have to make on locations. So it's an everyday process. I guess it is, but you have to have the time. Then, last but not least, personal attention. Digital, remote, it's all very nice, but you can't onboard anybody without a personal attention. For us, it's a bit difficult, because I'm there to advise, and I have to rely on our teams. We have some kind of white paper which tell the teams, like, okay, we think onboarding should go this and this and this way, but I can't check if they really do it. For example, we say every new employee gets flowers on his first day. I know it's not happening everywhere, so now I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to make sure everybody gets something on his first working day? We have a buddy system. So within your team, you will get a buddy. And this buddy will help you throughout the first period of about 3 months. You can always ask questions to, they will sit with you at a table every week to check, hey, how are you doing? Do you miss something? Do you need something? But I can't make sure that we have over 80 teams, that every team is doing what they're doing. So that's a bit difficult to make sure that it's happening the way I would love it to be. So back to our referral recruitment, which I started with. We achieved that because people like working with us. And that's said generally, I guess, because we also have a high number of staff turnover. But the people who are working with us and feeling at home and feeling seen and feel being worthy really spread out the word. I know last year there was one of our colleagues, he brought in 7 new hires. So we had a nice vacation because you get a bonus, and the bonus is only 250 euros net. But it's nice. It's just a little gesture. When I first started, we had some conditions on this bonus, and the condition was that somebody had to work with us for 6 months before you got your bonus. And I was like, okay, I am enthusiastic about my organization. I will spread out the word during birthday parties or a network company party, it doesn't matter where. And then somebody's going to hire that person. So I'm not involved in the hiring process. So the team manager has to do a good interview to know if the people really fit. And after that, somebody's going to work. And I don't have any influence on how people are working with us. So I said, okay, why don't I get a bonus when I bring somebody in? Why am I being responsible for how somebody is working with us? And then the management team was like, fair point, okay. So we don't have any conditions anymore. If you bring in somebody, your team manager will register that in AFAS, and then you will get your bonus. That's not all. I've got a wish list. Everybody has, I hope, and onboarding is a still ongoing process, which will never end. So we have a welcome box for mobile devices. Normally, people had to drive over to Nieuwegein to get their laptop or telephone. Then we sent it in a standard, regular box with a print of how to install it. And I was like, okay, is this very welcoming? If you're on your first day and at your location, your team manager gives you a box and it's just like, oh, good luck with that. So we made it a bit more personal. We put a logo on it, and we have 3 letters, a letter from our CEO, a letter from our digital training coaches, and a letter from HR, like saying, hey, welcome. Do you know we have an introduction day? If you have any questions, you have to go there and there. Next up my list, we will implement it in December, I hope, is vlog phones. Now I go to a location or we ask somebody to make a vlog themselves, and we have to put somebody on it to edit. So I wanted a format. The company is called Formats for our vlogs. And we have 10 phones at our central office, and the team can give them a call or email them and say, okay, can we have the vlog phone? And then they can make their own vlogs. And within Formats, it's shaped that way that if you're ready, the vlog can be used instantly. So, a little recap. How to achieve 1/3 of referral recruitment. I don't think onboarding is the only process. I think you have to be a good employer as well. Your employer branding is there. But first of all, start with finding support base. It just takes about 3 or 4 people who can support you and who are enthusiastic like you are. You have to do it together. Start small, think big, and collect people with unbridled energy. Make sure you get energy from them, and you don't think like after a meeting like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, are we really going to do this? Always start small. And I think especially my manager told me, have guts, dare to fail. She said, you're here, you can do whatever you want within some limited things, but it doesn't matter if you fail, because if you fail, you will learn from it and you will do it another way the next time. And even if you make those really small steps, it will help you to be a better employer and to have a better employer branding and to have a better onboarding. So we had some projects which we started, and after 2 months thought about like, really, really nice, but it's not going to work. So don't spend a lot of money just start small and spend money if you're really sure that it will work. And most of all, learn from others. I think everybody is watching Onboard Amsterdam, and other years went to Onboard Amsterdam to learn from it. I always go there and I'm like, oh my God, Heineken is coming there, Microsoft is there, the big ones, I can learn from that. And if I just have one small idea, which I can contribute to my onboarding, it was worth a day. So that was my presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sanne. It was really interesting. You shared a lot with us.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. Now, I have a first follow-up question to your presentation as well. Now, the humanistic roots of your organization have led to the success in the field of ambassadors. And what would you say is the downside of this people-centered organization, if any?
There always is, I guess. I think one of the downsides is that we really love self-direction from our people, and we really give them the freedom, and they can take the freedom they need. But not having some certain boundaries is making it hard, and therefore our former CEO always said, "You're not a humanistic, you're always trying to be one." But we don't select on people on their humanistic values. So will everybody understand what humanistic means? And can they cope with the self-direction and the given and taken freedom we give them?
And what's the biggest difference between Wortell and Humanitas DMH for you guys?
I think we both work in different sectors, of course. We work with recruiters. I'm one myself, of course, and you don't. And I think it also has to do something with resources. You know, if you look at our sector, people are already tech savvy. They're used to some kind of technological advancement, if you could call it that, versus healthcare. So yeah, definitely.
I think your employees are really specialized in something, and if you look throughout the 1,300 employees we have, everybody, the people working with clients are even about 20 different functions. We have from a level from, as we call it in Holland, MBO 4 to university degrees. So it's really difficult to have so many people with so many different interests and levels.
Yeah.
And I think yours is a bit more compact.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
And Brian, what do you think about using humanism as a guiding principle in the onboarding program?
Yeah, I think it's great. Because self-reflection is also part of a humanistic approach, and I was really triggered on the 3 core values on equivalence and self-direction. Those are things who are really living within Wortell as well, and I'm a fond sponsor of that kind of approach. So yeah, I think it's great. It gives people a responsibility for their own actions, and it gives them, I believe it gives them more sense of belonging within your company if you could create that type of environment.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to finalize this discussion, and we have some more questions from the audience that were asked during today's session. So let's read the question of the poll. I have to put my glasses on for this. And the question was, how personal do you rate the onboarding of your new hires? 1% says unpersonal, slightly personal, 45%, very personal, 41%, and personal is our middle name, 11%.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, you're surprised?
Yeah.
Me too, actually. But tell me, why you're so
Is our
surprised?
middle name, yeah. I think, I don't know the good English word. I would say a bit cocky. I would love to say that for our organization, personal is our middle name, but is everybody really experience that as well? Because I think we can do that, but you always have your data who tells you if you're doing it well or not. But are all your employees as personal as you would love to? I would love to work there. Give me a call.
You respond to this?
I think it's great that people are that enthusiastic about their onboarding and the way they make it personal. So yeah, I don't really have an opinion on.
No, I think I was quite surprised about the 45%, slightly personal. So I think that's still a big amount.
Yeah, it's still a big number, but I hope people are getting here to get some inspiration on getting some ideas about what are the quick fixes you could do within your organization in order to create a more personal onboarding, and go from there.
Yeah. Now we have some questions coming in for today for you. Quite a lot. Really a lot, actually.
Oh my God.
So I have a question here for Brian. And this question comes from Laura. How do the self-organizing teams learn from each other? That's a good question.
That's a really great question.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So at Wortell we have a company gathering every month and a company update every week, but a company gathering every month. And a company gathering is all about sharing knowledge. So there's like a team transcendence, if you could call that, because the technology we implement at customers is very intertwined. So they need to keep up to date on the progress they make as a team and what they are doing, and sharing their knowledge on specific cases in order to maybe do it better the next time. And one of the things that we do, well, of course, right now it's COVID, but even during COVID, we still have technical sessions, the classic pizza sessions and stuff like that on sharing knowledge. So yeah.
Okay, Joska has asked a question for both of you, actually. What is the maximum number of participants in this program? Is it scalable?
Definitely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because if you there's not a maximum number on. If you have to fill a stadium, I think it would be a bit different. But whether or not you have 10 starters or 50 or 100, it's all about. Yeah, you do need to consider where you would delegate your processes to. But in the end, everything is scalable, definitely, because the technology we use, and definitely with Apical, it's very easy to just give people a license to your app, and based on how your onboarding is fixed, you could enter 50, 100, 200 people. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I think people mostly think that onboarding is something from HR or from communications, but it's not. Apical doesn't matter how many people you put into. We made it sure that if somebody is hired and is registered in AVAS, there goes a mail from AVAS to Apical, and Apical will send a mail to our new employee like, hey, hi, welcome, you can download the app. That was a bit hard in the beginning because people are not expecting to get a mail from Apical. So now we made sure in AVAS there's going a mail as well from us, like, hey, you're getting a mail from Apical. It's about our new app for your onboarding, so don't miss out, check your spam, make sure you get the mail from Apical. So that part of your onboarding, you don't have to do anything, you just make an update on your app and that's it. But the personal onboarding on the locations, and you have it in your teams as well, it's a responsibility of everybody. So if the teams, and not only the team manager, but also the colleagues in the teams, they are responsible, I think even more sometimes than I am, for making sure people are feeling at home and making sure they have the knowledge they need to know, besides of what we give from stuff like digital trainers and stuff like that. But if the team is not welcoming somebody, is not knowing that somebody is starting that day, it happens sometimes within an organization that people are at the wrong door, or like, yeah, it's my first day. Oh, or you can really come. Oh, is it? Oh, today. So make sure everybody knows how important it is, and then it doesn't matter if you have 300 or 20 people.
Yeah. For Brian, I have a question. I don't know if I say her name or his name right, Undine. What is the best way to select a buddy for the new employee? Are there any criteria I should follow?
Yeah, great question. Well, the way we select people is that we look at the team and we look at who's most keen on being the buddy, of course, but also who has the most empathic skills. Because the buddy is the single person they rely on or could fall back on the moment our processes are not adequate enough to help our new starter. So I would definitely, yeah, we train people on being a buddy. Okay. So yeah, look at your organization, and people usually who are most keen on being the buddy will help the new employee the best.
Yeah. Yeah. For Sanne, how do you engage team leads, managers in the onboarding program? Question from Annick.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. We have some internal campaigns where we make sure that they know what onboarding is, and where we help them, like, oh, we have a new thing, you could use this. And what we did about 2 or 3 months ago, we made 4 videos about onboarding and recruitment, and each video will take about 5 minutes. And in those videos, we tell them, okay, how do you make a vacancy test? What do you want to write in your vacancy test? We have standard vacancy text, but they can also adjust something they want to, which is specialized to their team and their needs. Then we check them, but it's their text. So how can you make sure you have the best text for your new employee? Another video is about how do you do screening, and the other one is about how do you do an interview. Don't sit with 4 people on this side and Brian is all alone there. Make sure you have a round table, stuff like that. Which questions do you ask? Which questions don't you ask? And the last one is about onboarding, so making sure that. So we try to do every about 6 months an update on, hey, have you thought about that, or did you already use this one? And we have a white paper, and you can see the team managers, which I quite often have interaction with. It's a lot easier, but we also have team managers which I speak about once a month, or no, not even. And then it's really hard because you know they don't have the time for it, or it doesn't feel right to do that at that moment because you know there's a struggle on the location. But even when there's a struggle, it's really important to do the onboarding well. So we're looking at how can we make it easier for them. But it's also something like, okay, I have to let it go. I can't do it all.
Yeah. For both of you, actually, again, do Wortell and Humanitas have expats employed? If so, how does the company take this special group in mind within the onboarding process?
I don't have any expats.
No?
We neither.
No?
No?
We don't have any expats, no.
Hey, that surprised me. I thought you had quite some expats also,
Yeah.
no?
You don't need to have them already then.
We are planning on
Yeah.
Because we are still growing quite rapidly. And if we could hire expats, yeah, it would give a serious surge to our pool of candidates to hire them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll save this question for next year when you come back.
Definitely.
Okay, for Brian again, how does your mentor buddy system work? And do you use the cards for establishing a connection with your new hires?
Great question. First off, yeah, we do use the cards in order to establish a great connection with our new employees.
Yeah. Yeah, the questions are also really nice.
Yeah,
we went through it this morning.
There's a lot of great questions in them. There's also a lot of personal questions in them, which I think is great. It opens up the environment and you're in, and people are really interested in what you have to say. And regarding mentorship, how does it work? It's we are a company we hire mostly specialists in IT and specifically Microsoft technology. And we hire people on their self on personal leadership. So how do they deal with being responsible for all of your actions? So your own planning, how you're dealing with HR, etc., etc. Everything is practically up to you. We do have a lot of colleagues who help you with it, of course. And the mentorship is giving a podium to young professionals in order to grow as fast as they can. And if you look at our organizations, we have people who start as a first line service desk, which is considered a starting position, which are now architect within 5 years, which is like almost the end of your, and it's all about feeding potential. And we have mentors in working for Wortell, which are really keen on feeding that talent. So yeah, it's great to have those people within your organization, and we nurture them. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So for Brian and Sanne, you both have goodies included to welcome new hires. Now, I've seen a lot from you already. How important do you think the goodies are in the process? And would you advise every company to include little gestures? Sabine, there's a question from Sabine.
I don't think it's that important. It's nice to have. If we have the introduction meeting, we send then a goodie bag. And in the goodie bag are some flyers with our values and how to behave, and a book written by clients of us, and the bingo card and the party hat and stuff like that. But it's nice to have. We don't have a lot of organizations have, like you said, bags or stuff like that. We don't do that because I think for us it's always considering like, okay, will I spend money on that? Well, I can spend it on helping our clients. So. I think a little gesture is nice, but you also can do it like we do it digital during the recruitment process. You can make sure on the first working day, people have an email in their new email box, and there is a video with from our CEO who tells how important it is to do the digital training for the systems. So that's a goodie as well, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it makes people being seen and feeling, oh, okay, I'm really being welcomed from out the whole organization. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, are you going to be happy if you get a bag, or are you going to be more happy if your CEO just have a special talk for you? A little gesture would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Brian?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Sanne. Yeah, I think we have quite a big goodie bag. But it's also something that has evolved over the years. We add things, we delete things, and let's say during COVID, one of the things was, okay, so what do people do when they're locked up in their homes?
Yeah.
And one of the things we did is, I'm a great fan of movie theaters. And I thought, okay, can you go to the theaters at home? And that is why we came up with a Pâté Thuis card, which is, it helps them, and the reason behind it is that it helps them connect with their family, you know, and the whole family on the couch, something to drink, maybe something to eat, and watching a movie together. And in these times, I think falling back on your family and everything that goes with it is something you need to do in these times. So that is why, we added that card. Why a sports bag? We have our own gym. Yeah. So in the church. No, not in the church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's always great to get something. Yeah. Little gestures, just a thought that counts. And you even have like these little stickers, just something small, but it makes you laugh.
Yeah,
and sometimes you just have to be very creative, and you already do that. So,
but it can be a gimmick as well.
Yeah, it can be a gimmick. And I think the flowers really stands for personal attention.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like, if you have like a water bottle, you know there are 2,000 in your closet. But if you especially get some flowers for that people. It's really personal attention. But it's not only for your new hires as well. It's also within your organization. I think you have to do some gestures as well sometimes. So when we made those 4 videos for the teams for recruitment and onboarding, we had a little campaign, and we made, you can make your own popcorn boxes with your own text on it. And we just had those little bags for in the microwave, and we sent it to every team. Like it was a movie. So pick up your popcorn and sit there with each other and go watch our movies.
Yeah.
And that is just a little thing. If you do it with your onboarding process on the first day, it's nice. But if you forget them, the next 25 years, they won't remember that flowers they got on the first day. So make sure they're always being seen.
Yeah. Okay, also a question for both of you again. What is your biggest struggle within the personalization of the onboarding process?
I would say creating the right content. For
Yep.
me, that's the biggest challenge.
No, I think for us it's how can we make it more personal within the groups we have within our organization. So you can make different chapters, and you can, I know there's a possibility from AVA's to say, okay, that person belongs to a home run, is one of the services we have, and that person is for living. But within living, there are 4 other specializations again. So how far will you go to make it that personal? I think the thing I really miss in our onboarding, it doesn't, I don't care, it's that general now in Apical, but I would love to introduce the teams. But if you see our staff turnover, I'm like, yeah, I can want that, but it means I think I have every week about 10 people or more which are leaving the company and new ones are there. So a picture of a team is not going to work for me, but how can you make sure that somebody is getting to meet up with the teams? And yeah, that's a struggle I'm facing for about 3 years now, and I still don't have the answer. So if anybody has the answer for me, please let me know.
Okay, that's good. Maybe for in the networking sessions afterwards. Huh?
Tell me.
You can ask any question, but
I can ask questions as well, then.
yeah,
Yeah, great.
for sure. Let me see the next question. For Brian and Sanne, for both of you again, what would be a great starting point for creating a personalized pre-boarding? Question from Arkis.
Yeah, my pre-boarding is not that well.
Okay, could you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. What would be a great starting point for creating a personalized pre-boarding?
I would say pick up the information from people who just started and ask them, okay, what are the things within pre-boarding which you would love to see differently?
But is your pre-boarding before somebody is going to apply? That
Yeah,
I see
on how you look at
pre-boarding.
it.
Yeah, that's
depends
my
on-
pre-boarding. So before somebody is on our recruitment site is going to apply, for me, that's pre-boarding. Because from this moment he is on our recruitment site, I've got it covered. But how can you cover the pre-boarding before they are going to apply? And how can you make that personal?
Yeah, but I think that's a whole different topic. It has to do with marketing and stuff like that, if you ask me. But if you look at pre-boarding as in going to your first interview, your second interview, and perhaps your offer. Yeah, just ask the people who just started at your company. Because they are the ones who are in the middle of it.
Exactly. Good answer. For Brian, have you seen the Microsoft talk? And would you use the Microsoft Analytics data in your onboarding program? And how?
I haven't seen the talk, I have to be honest.
That's a shame.
I saw it, and it was difficult.
I was in the middle of interviews yesterday, but yeah, within our company, we already use a great amount of data in all of our processes, and we use it in recruitment as well to discover trends within our vacancies, where do we get the most traffic from, etc., etc. And yeah, we use like BI, so business intelligence from Microsoft in a lot of our processes, and I think that it's great that you can nowadays use data from a lot of different points within within your process or within your recruitment site, for instance, discover trends and act upon it. So there are, I'm not a whiz kid in marketing. I have a team member who specializes in that, and he tells me all the ins and outs on what do we need to improve on, or on what we could do better data-wise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now actually this was the last question. So there is so much more to talk about and questions to be answered, but it's not over yet. In 5 minutes, you're able to join our networking sessions with our speakers and fellow attendees. You will receive an invite link in your email in any second. But first, let's switch over to Victor and mine at the Apical headquarters to hear our winners of today's Onboard Award. Victor.
Okay, thank you so much, Cyril. My name is Victor, and I will be announcing the winner of today's Onboarding Award for companies smaller than 500 employees. And the winner of the Onboard Award 2020 is the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. Congratulations, guys!
Hello there from the Netherlands. We are super happy to accept this award from Apical, so thank you very, very much.
A big shout out to our colleagues for their support and feedback, which helped us develop the app. Without them, it wouldn't have become the success it has become today, so thank you so much.
This award is an incentive and an encouragement for us to continuously strive to enhance the onboarding app for our new staff.
We want to ensure that our new colleagues have the most rewarding experience during the onboard journey. Thank you so much, Apical. Heel erg bedankt.
The feedback of our new hires drives and encourages us to continuously improve the onboarding experience, so that the new hires have the best possible journey into the organization. Dank je, Apical.
Morentang, Apical.
Gracias, Apical.
Salamat, dziękuję und vielen Dank, Apical.
Congratulations, OPCW! And you won this beautiful award, and we will send it to you. And also PepsiCo Mexico will receive, of course, this beautiful trophy. Once again, there's still one more award remaining, the Reboarding Award that will be given on Friday. And I also got the results in from the Wortell card game. And the 3 people who won this is Udine, Arkis and Kim. Congratulations. Have fun with it. As well, an applause. Oh, it's okay. Now, I want to thank you both here at the table, Brian from Wortell and Sanne from Humanitas DMH. Go ahead and meet them in the networking sessions after this. And tomorrow you can tune in to learn more about culture onboarding with Rabobank and HelloFresh. And the following days will cover culture onboarding, reboarding, and remote onboarding. So don't forget to sign up if you haven't done so yet. Thank you for watching us this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10. Bye.